Hey, this is Major TV. Let's talk. I really want to jump in right quick and just talk about the latest situation with another young black male being killed. Um, Casey Goodson Jr. Um, Columbus, Ohio, was fatally shot by a sheriff deputy while entering his home. The family have spoke out with their attorney on the Breakfast Club as well as CNN. I caught it. I read. I caught both of the interviews, and it's just sad. It's really a sad day because Grandmaster J right now is on house arrest for the things that he been calling out against injustice system with the systemic racism of police killing black men. In this case, he was on, but he was legally on under Columbus, Ohio law. You know, you can they have an open carry law, so it's no excuse of them killing him. And the funny part, what I'm learning is that as he was entering the home, they shot through the screen door and shot him in the back and killed him. I be watching American Doofus show because he's a person that put out a lot of content. I watch a lot of shows, but he put out a lot of content dealing with Grandmaster J. He's a white older guy, right? He said he has some kind of background in media and what have you. But he said, where the people right now, that's all about the Second Amendment. And of course he calling out other white people, white militias, right? You got Grandmaster J being violated. Now you got a young black male shot like a dog who had a gun. You could see he had a gun. Hosted and everything. Now they don't have what the family telling us. The story been changed and everything from the sheriff department. And also it's not really stated whether or not there was any kind of interaction with him and the officer and whatnot. But it doesn't really matter. For you to shoot a man in the back into his home, you're a coward, you know. And it's straight madness. It's madness and it's sadness because you try to do things in peace. You try to live your life in peace. You try to be legal as possible. Try to walk a straight line, which we have, and most of our have been doing that. Outside, some of us that have messed up or crossed the line and broke a law, what have you. But for the most part, black people loving, responsible, strong people. And just because we don't shoot back all the time, don't think we won't shoot back, which we know in our history, we have shotguns at them too. And unfortunately, we always get the unfortunate end of the stick. And I just had to just, you know, because when they first was aired, right, I couldn't really watch it. I'm just getting so socially numb and tired of hearing about black men getting killed. It's the second person that got killed that had a gun legally. And it's crazy how white people, local, state, even FBI, play with the idea about investigations and what have you, which I can understand to a certain extent. But a lot of time, it's like they look like they're not really trying to criminally charge the officer. They really look like they're trying to find ways or loopholes to not charge them with anything. This is sad. You got people out here protesting, looting, carrying on legally, trying to get your attention. And then I say, I'm talking about the government, society, all this systemic racism, all this hate, all this BS that black people deal with since they've been in this country. The funny part about it, like one troll said, right? He was like, and I don't really want to, go off into talking about trolls and whatever. But the white guy, I'm assuming because he had a picture, whatever, but it probably was a fake picture. And when I first started doing my videos, when he said, "Oh, look like you doing pretty good because your background," I responded, right? I was like, "You don't know what the hell I want you to get what I got." Because I will tell my story, but right now, I'm concerned about talking about the issues at hand. But here you worrying about what I have, but you know how hard it was for me to get this. You know how old I was, not really was able to get myself together. Society tend to paint this picture when they see successful people, they just throw them in our face, right? And then try to point out those who are struggling in our community, but they don't want to talk about the economic and social conditions that have been imposed on them. They don't want to talk about the psychological aspect of all this and how we don't put guns in our community, how we don't manufacture and create drugs, how we don't have control over anything on a large scale. They want to not talk about that. They want to try to look for our wrong and our bad. But with this brother here, never been arrested, had been legally owned. There's a law protecting him. What you gonna say? Grandmaster J try to tell you this. NFAC try to tell you this. Where them black trolls at? Where them white trolls? Where them trolls in general? I'm waiting. And I know it's not a lie, and I know they can't respond, but I'm just like, I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's the authorities or individuals or what have you just looking at the videos and saying what they say. But I know one thing. This is the reason why we fight. This is the reason why, in fact, it's pushing that narrative that we have to stop believing that everything's going to be all right. Change can only happen when we decide to change the way we think and how we do things. They've been applying the divide and conquer for years. Now we have to recognize what's going on. Those who are going to be sellouts, those who are going to be what have you, let them be. But for those who really care, those who understand that this young man, Casey Goodson Jr., was legally owned and killed. Not only did they violate his Second Amendment, they violated his Fourth Amendment and what have you. Unfair arrest, search, discharge of a firearm, you name it, right? There's 14th Amendment violations. There's violations out there particularly against this officer, right? That they can't get around. But guess what they're doing? They're getting some of the people in the highest places, legally, with the legal mind, to come together to try to see how they can soften the situation. This have to change. Because if this don't change, it's like a bomb ready to explode. People be like, man, we're going to mess around and kill, we can't win. People ain't worrying about getting killed when they already getting killed. He had a gun and they killed him. What more? What more? This gotta stop. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of explaining myself to those who don't get it. So I'm talking to people that's on code and know what's going on. Nearly Fuller Jr. speaks about being on code, right? In his book, he talks about stuff like this. Now we have to be on code, understand that this fight is a serious fight. I don't care if you live in a nice home, you have a nice car, you have a nice job, a nice business, or what have you. You got to get involved with the fight. If you want true freedom, you don't want to wake up in the morning and hear about somebody getting gunned down by police or killed by a white person or someone else other than black. Because we already have the situation in our community, we killing each other. And of course we know the situation and conditions been created. And we understand the self-hate and all this. But we already dealing with, and then they be want us to shine a light on that and talk about that. We already know it's messed up. But it's messed up because Y'all didn't provide them opportunities. When there was opportunities in the community, y'all took them out. Y'all put the money in military, police, or what have you. All these social activities and programs, y'all took out the community. When blacks was going in cities, y'all did a white flight and y'all took the jobs out of the community. Then y'all set the police in to militarize the community. Then the drugs. Then the guns. All that. Let's talk. CIA was exposed. And with that, Iran-Contra, what have you, with Oliver North, what have you, CIA, the Nicaragua war with Reagan and all in the high, they was getting cocaine or whatever, getting the community to buy guns or whatever. Kids, I don't even want to talk about it because, it's a lot of bull crap with that. But Reagan is praised, right? At the same time, many black people die either from the use of crack cocaine, getting killed behind crack cocaine, robbing and stealing. Our community was tore down. They ain't talking about repairing. They ain't talking about no kind of reparation or what have you. We have a president that just been elected, right? That was the chief leader pushing the crime bill, right? Now he's talking this, that, and other. Now I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We know he's old racist in his background. But we already have a few choices, right? And they boldly have done things over the years. Like they had us, like, right? They fooled us, right? Through the media and whatnot, talking about how we're predators and how we kill each other. Black people like, yeah, we kill, yeah, we gotta do this, that, and that. And we agree with the crime bill, and then we realize we've been bamboozled, we've been played. That they created all this mess. But we do share the blame because you know why? More and more information coming out there. And we not putting another foot soldier in the community. And we not networked enough to kind of quell a lot of it. But I don't want to just talk about that. That is an issue. But I'm talking about how people like Casey just was killed. Going his home. He was legal with his gun. I don't know, y'all. Well, let me not say that. We know that the Constitution was created while we was enslaved, right? And when they freed the slaves, the Constitution was Plessy versus Ferguson. Separate equal but separate, equal but separate or separate but equal. I don't know, something like that, right? And Thurgood Marshall in 1954 challenges Brown versus Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas, right? Well, they were saying it was cool to legally separate people when it came down schools and so forth. So on. It was really basically segregation type law that was passed, a law. But you had to throw in their face, well, it's separate equal. Well, we supposed to have the same school that they have, a new school. We're supposed to have new supply, not old, ripped up books. We're supposed to have nice uniforms just like them. We're supposed to have nice water fountains like them. We're supposed to have them just like them. And eventually, they overruled in the Brown case, right? But that was just one example of many examples, whereas we had to actually challenge this government for all the systemic and racist Jim Crow laws that have been enacted to hold us back. So I really feel like this is another slap in our face, and to remind us that the Constitution only applies in certain ways, but certain things about the Constitution they don't really want it to apply. And that's why when NFAC them came on the scene, the way they came on the scene, yeah, they seen the Black Panthers, but like Grandmaster Jay said something that was just interesting what he said, which I noticed, but he was like, these were young guys. A lot of them was college students and whatnot, in their 20s and stuff like that. Some of them was in their teens, right? But in fact, it's older people in their 30s and 40s, 50s and what have you, And even though the young kids was borrowing, something they did, they could have did different, right? But I'm not going to criticize the movement because in good faith, it was really doing a lot in the community as far as feeding, after school programs, you know what I'm saying? etc. But this is just this is just a different animal, like Rams J said. And to see Casey Goodson Jr. Parents break down a record club and just start crying, man, you can't help but to have a heart. You can't help but to say that could have been my child. That could have been me. That could have been you. Like, I'm cool. Let the haters hate. You know what I'm saying? But black people, we gotta love. We gotta love on, and we gotta love each other. Like, love each other, like Grandma J used to always say. And we have to realize that the fight we dealing with, it's not a fight like he said. It's not about winning the battle. It's about winning the war. Some of the battles we probably are winning in so many ways. We played a part with getting Biden off. What's gonna happen next? There's a lot of videos I want to drop, man. Just working and doing my little side business and what have you. Business it's kind of tough, you know what I'm saying? But I'm really trying to like really be out here, whether making videos or going to rallies or supporting some kind of organization that's really about change in the black community. I ain't with the egos. I'm not with all the talking. It's about action. So I just wanted to drop this video because it took me a second I had to digress and kind of take a deep breath before I went to reviewing and looking at Casey's situation where he was slaughtered. He was killed. The domestic terrorism have to stop. Again, the domestic. Excuse me. Got tongue twisted. I'm kind of tired. I can't even say it really. Forget it. But anyway, I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm kind of tired. You know what I'm saying? I worked out and whatnot. But this domestic terrorism have to stop. And tomorrow I gotta get in that truck and drive. So I want to do this because I know that driving getting allowed me, right? And I just had to just squeeze these words in because we need to hear, not just from me, from everybody, how they feel about this. So definitely get in the comment section and let's start engaging and talking about this. And let's call out them trolls and haters. Let's call out the white militias that support Second Amendment and what have you. And look at Grandmaster J and look at Casey Goodson Jr. Because guess what? They only support the Second Amendment when black people not involved. I enjoyed talking to you. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm starting stumbling over words and whatnot, but I had to really cover this. I didn't want to let this go over my head and what have you. But look, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. When we drop your content and whatnot, drop me a message or what have you. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you want me to talk about something or what have you. I definitely want to go all the way there. I definitely want to have content that's gonna be material, they're gonna be genuine, they're gonna be helpful. So again, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned. We're gonna have some more content soon. You know what I'm saying? Got nothing but love for you. And stay blessed. Bye.